Many children face extreme pressures from their parents to perform well in their sport. They receive many critiques and will often lose their love for the game. I can relate to this all too well. I used to play soccer, and while I enjoyed it, my parents knew that I could do better. This constant pressure, though done out of consideration for my talents, led me to quit playing the sport that I used to love. My name is Celeste Griffin, and I want to emphasize to you all today about the importance of positivity when it comes to the high expectations that parents burden their children with. To begin, high expectations can foster positive traits, such as being motivated or efficient. But when the expectations exceed what the child feels like they can handle, they may develop depression, anxiety, and low self esteem. But the negative effects aren't simply from the measure of expectations, they're also caused by the way that these expectations are presented to the child. More often than not, these children cope with their emotional trauma in unhealthy ways, in turn affecting their future relationships and their careers. They usually grow up with the assumption that love or acceptance is conditional because they only received such things when they were experiencing success in their sport. For these reasons, a parent's approach to the successes and failures of their child is pivotal to their development. A parent should offer constructive criticism rather than damage their child's mental health with reproval. Following critiques with a comment about something that the child did well would boost their motivation because they wouldn't leave the conversation or lecture feeling like they completely failed. This approach reframes the situation in the child's mind. They will be less likely to hyperfixate on just their wrongdoings and see that their failures are something they simply need to improve upon. But a parent should not only offer a positive comment. They should also strategize with the child about how to go about solving or improving the issues they experienced. In other words, they should course correct their child. Offering good advice can provide the child a starting point to help them take their first step in improving their situation. The worst thing a parent can do is to make their child feel unloved, which is what happens often in these situations, unbeknownst to the parents. Because the children only receive positive input upon success, they dread any failure for fear of the consequences that their parents will inflict upon them. Oftentimes, those who suffered from high pressure parents in their youth will develop low self esteem. Their confidence either never had a chance to develop or it was simply chipped away at until they were left with nothing but doubts about themselves. This is an extremely unhealthy mindset because it can lead to depression and anxiety. Not only this, but they will be less likely to take chances and chase after the things that they may want in life. They will be more likely to only take on tasks that are simpler because the fear of feeling like a failure is worse than the limits on life from not taking those chances. As a parent, it is your responsibility to give your child the best start in life that you possibly can so that they can tackle any and all aspirations that they may have. Many parents do not realize the devastation that they can wreak on their child's mental health, which is why they tend to not realize that their child's unwillingness to go through hardship may be a trauma response. Children are just as affected by the hardships of life as adults, and their feelings should be regarded with the same consideration. I think Elaine Taylor Klaus wrote it best in her blog when she said, "You have every reason to set high expectations for your kids. After all, these kids are amazing and they have extraordinary potential. What's different here is that I am encouraging you to set your expectations in the context of truly accepting your child for who they are, not who you wanted them to be." Raising a child is one of the hardest things in life to do, but the reward of doing so successfully is a happy and healthy human being who is able to influence the world with their talents. Thank you.